Okay, so now that we know the steps that we need to follow to write an argument, essay, thesis, let's try a sample essay question together. So if we look at this question reads, the government should be permitted to censor the internet to help protect young people from offensive content. Do you agree or disagree? Form an opinion and support it. So if we look at this question, now the question is asking us whether we feel that the internet should be something that is controlled by the government. Should the government be able to block certain content that it deems inappropriate? So now the first thing we want to do is we want to brainstorm some ideas that we could use to either support this statement or to refute it. So firstly, now to support the idea that the government should be permitted to censor the internet, one thing might be that the internet has a lot of adult content on it, and this type of content could, I think in most people's opinions, be harmful to children, to be harmful to young people. So we might make the argument that there's a tremendous amount of adult content on the internet, and that this is widely available to children, people. So that is one idea that supports the thought that the government should be able to control what people see on the internet. And if we thought some other ideas, but let's try to think of some on the refute side, which I think would be a little bit easier to come up with. So one thing could be that that if the government controls the internet, well, this restricts freedom of speech. So perhaps an idea that refutes this, that helps to support an essay that would refute this, would be censoring the internet restricts an individual's freedom of speech. Okay, another idea that would refute this would be that if perhaps the government controlled the content of the internet, this could slow the rate that information can be transferred. So this may lead, so the government controlling the internet may lead to a slower transfer of information. So for example, blocking certain news sites would mean users would not have as many outlets to receive news. So if the government is controlling the internet, well, that just means that certain websites would be blocked, and that means that there are less avenues for people to get information. So overall, perhaps this would slow the transfer of information. So that's another idea that could refute the concept of the government controlling what is on the internet, or what the people of its country can see on the internet. And perhaps a third thing would be that not everyone thinks the same things are offensive. So for one person, something might be totally offensive, and for another person, it might not be. So we'll just say what is offensive to one person may not be to another. Okay, so now we've looked at this question. We've come up with one idea that supports the idea that the government should be permitted to censor the internet. And we came up with three ideas that support refuting this statement. So as step 3 of our argument essay thesis writing step tells us, at this point we want to decide on what style of essay to write. And I think it's easy to see that to write a refuting essay would be much easier. So now we know we're going to write a refuting essay. What we need to do is now actually write the thesis. The thesis needs to be written as an exact response to the essay question. So this essay question reads, the government should be permitted to censor the internet to help protect young people from offensive content. Do you agree or disagree? Form an opinion and support it. So a thesis for this essay could be, it is not agreed that the government should be permitted to censor the internet, even in the pursuit of protecting young people from offensive content. Okay, so now if we look at this thesis, so basically what I've done is I've taken some specific words right out of the question and I reused them again. And this is a strategy that will be helpful to you, and it will be helpful to your essay reader, because they'll be able to clearly see the link between your essay question and what you're arguing. So firstly, if we just go through the question again, the government should be permitted to censor the internet to help protect young people from offensive content. Do you agree or disagree? Form an opinion and support it. And so when we go to write our essay, we would write as our thesis, it is not agreed that the government should be permitted to censor the internet, even in the pursuit of protecting young people from offensive content. Okay, so this thesis then directly answers the question given in our essay question.